is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm finally doing an unboxing. I know, if you watched my channel update, I said I wasn't going to do any more unboxings, but this is going to be a little bit different because this is going to be an unboxing for the new BattleCon stuff, the Devastation of Endines or Wanderers of Endines, the Ultimate Collection, and going to be doing a reboxing of everything. So before I even jump into what is in here and here, let me show you what the storage solution that I have for it right now. So this is the base box, which I actually think, I realized I didn't keep anything in it. I think I kept it just for just to have the box. So don't need that anymore. And then we go to the really ultimate, or the ultimate really useful boxes is what they're called. And we have all the rule books here. So, you know, rule book for war, rule book for trials, there's the core, there's fate, there's war again, oh, fighter mode guide, and then the rule, yep, so, and then, oh, there's strikers, yep, and then they came with more extra just shit, the extended for war, light and shadow, which I don't think there was any upgrades for any of that stuff. The Armory, which once again didn't have any updates. Novus, here's the original BattleCon rulebook, the Battle Quest, and then the board, and then everything else. Oh man, so yeah, here's just extra, yeah, bases, but basically everything for it. Here's all of the, ooh, man, it's gonna take some time. But yeah, there is that. I'm actually gonna keep the cards with the bases, or with the boxes, because I'm pretty sure I just need to reuse those. But yep, here is the old way of how they were stored. So we'll just take a look at, like, Sherry, for example, with her insight tokens. So basically what I did was, they used to have these little whatever sleeves, these manila sleeves that told you what was supposed to be in there, a complete kit. I put the card in the bag with it, and then there's the two, you know, the two tokens, and then yeah, we just had the, like, the main card, then her Sleepwalker mode, and then Dreamwalker, or there's the two Light and Shadow, as well as her reference, and then I personally I didn't even realize I sleeved all of these. Whoops. Huh. Guess I didn't need to pay for sleeves. Oh well. So, yep. And then there's those. Obviously, I will not be showing you everything for that. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did get. And then just slowly do a fast speed through of everything else. So let's just cry that I did this and throw everything back in. Yeah. So much stuff. And then I'm gonna have to try and find it all whenever I upgrade everything. I did not realize I sleeved everything. Oh well. Now I know I have more than enough sleeves for everything BattleCon. And as you can see, there is going to be a bunch of heroes. And then, yeah, I know some people got reworked, like Thessala. Like, she doesn't have her evolution board anymore. She has her tokens. And I believe some characters got reworked. And then we just have this extra shit like these that don't serve any purpose. Alright. Oh, actually, I wouldn't have had enough sleeves because I sleeved the bases, but now every character gets their own base. So, okay. Now that I have at least enough room to be able to show you what I got, let's at least look what's in this big one. Or not this big one, the small one, which, if I had to guess, is probably the sleeves. Haha, they are 52 packs of 50 sleeves. So, yeah. Alright. Well, I thought they were going to be color coordinated, but they're not. But, you know, these are probably better than the sleeves I do have. We'll see. Actually, let's see what they feel like right now. I hope they're better than the ones I got. They are. They are. They're not like the matte back cover, like you saw me have for the colors. But dang, that is gonna be a lot of sleeving. So, and that I knew was gonna be in the small one. But now I'm not even gonna lift this all the way over there. Let's just see what's in here. Oh God, that's heavy. All right. Ooh. Okay. Is it stuck? I can't get it out. Okay. All right. That's a little overkill because they just have a box for the whole box. God, that worries me. All right. You know what? All right. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. There was extra stuff that was just shoved down here. That's pretty cool. I love when things are not taken care of. There's my mats. So that's pretty neat. Okay. I didn't think they were gonna have a box for the box. Okay. Alright. Don't need that. Oh. Okay. Well, here's my play mats. So we have we have that one. It's Jaeger versus I don't remember her name. Thala? Something like that. And then this one's the big cool one. Hex Sketch versus Eustace. So that looks pretty badass. It's a half mat, so you actually just put your you put the two mats together, and that creates the board. So that's pretty neat. Very much enjoy those. I never thought I would actually get mats for this game, and I know there's new things that come with it. But so we have those. Those are off to the side, and then now I have to open the other box, which does have a dent in it. So that's kind of worrisome. But it's only one dent on one side, right there. So maybe I'll get lucky. I mean, if any of you have watched my channel before, you know I probably won't get lucky, and I'll probably just have some fucked up box. That will be my luck. Okay. Oh well, there's packaging tape in here. All right. Let's see. Money shot. Okay. Here is Wanderers. So there's that. The new actual dueling thing. Here is the Devastation of Endine's upgrade kit. Then here we have. Oh, come on, you fucker. Got all these long separation pieces. Okay, come on. Give it to me, Neil. Here is one of the storage boxes. Moment of truth. Hopefully this isn't busted. I don't think it is. I think I got lucky. Alright. And here's the second storage box. Nothing else. Whew! It's a little crazy right there. Didn't expect that to happen, but yes. Here's the second storage box. So now let's see what we got. What do we want to do first? Let's do Wanderers. This stuff does have. Oh, I didn't realize they had art on the sides. That's pretty cool. There is supposed to be a Grand Chronicle, like depicting the whole lore and like all the characters and stuff, but that got delayed, and I think they're just gonna send it out at another time, which is okay. I can live with that. Okay, so here we have Wanderers of Endines, which has, of course, the tuck boxes for the characters. So let's see. And that is standalone, so you can just get this by itself. Yeah, let's see. Characters, we have Anya Southwind. And on the back it tells you a little bit about them. But then a Dajin Nidala. What is he about? He is a slugger. Then we got Rin Coldwater. God, these people's names. She is a mage. Cervical Voros. He looks pretty cool. How much you want to bet he is expert? Intermediate. Oh, okay. But he is a tactician. Wendy Thristle. She's probably a tactician. Kai Omakai. A tinkerer. He's advanced. Not even going to try to pronounce that name. Maybe I will try. Ciano. Is there he's a phantom thief. All right. John Strong Stevenson. Hell yeah. Slugger. Phaelana Korgitz. And that is a brawler. And then Korasev Traxay. Traxay. Brawler. So you have all those. Then you have the rule book, of course, and this rule book is actually going to be more important than the other ones because this is going to have your updated terminology, which is very important. So we have those. Yeah, the fighting styles are now Slugger, Tactician, Mage, Disruptor, Brawler, and Tinkerer. And they'll probably have, I think, either in the Ultimate or in the Devastation upgrade kit, it has a sheet that tells you what the new terminologies mean. But yeah, and then a character guide. So this is what I initially thought what the core rule book, or not the core, the lore book was going to be, and I was going to be super pissed. But yeah, so they do have some type of story. They have a map over their world, which is the Endines world, which as you could see is in their other games. It's in the Empyreal Spells and Steam or whatever. I was not interested in that. And then their Exceed, their Argent, the Consortium. So they do have their own world, which is pretty cool. And then, yeah, so the story so far is pretty cool. And then it shows you the fighters and something about them. So I'm assuming this is what the lore book is going to be. It's going to be all of this, the whole story, and then all the characters, which I like. I think that's neat. Let's see, who's the coolest one here? Let me show you. Of course, he just looks badass. And the Jin is pretty cool. I kind of like this guy, Kai Omakai, the puzzle box maker. That's just pretty interesting. But, well, I opened right to the Jin. But let's see, who do we want to read about? Yeah, we'll do the badass, that dude. So he's 352 years old. Her service requires my blade requires your fall. He is a male, his race is Ghost, and then tells you his complete kit, everything about him. A deathless knight in service to the Daemon Candide, Veckel serves the voice of Malephase out of both duty and love. On one of the few remaining souls that knew her during her human life centuries ago, he has remained devoted despite her corruption and his own death. Still, he is by no means blind to what he has become over the centuries. Regrets haunt him, and he is tormented by the corruption that has consumed both him and his mistress. Daijin, ever the astute observer of human nature, used Veckel's regrets to ensnare him. In exchange for the genie's promise to restore his master to her human self, Veckel has agreed to participate in Daijin's schemes. Oh, is Daijin... Oh, yeah, that's this guy. Alright, so he's evil. I thought this guy would be evil, but I guess not. Though he doubts Daijin's intention to carry out the genie's end of the bargain, Veckel knows that playing along will give him the opportunity to seize the ruby and bend the sorcerer to his will. Such a chance is rare, even with a lifetime of centuries, but he is willing to bet everything on the slimmest of hopes for redemption. Neat. Oh, and then, yeah, Malephase. It says his master. That's pretty cool. Oh, and then there's a poster. So, if you like posters, and this time it's not a double-sided poster, thank God. It is a quick start guide, which is just there. And then, yep, there's the there's the poster. So, and I know they had posters in the past. I used to have one, but through the moving and moving and moving, it went away. Oh, here we go. Okay, I guess it was in Wanderers. So the 4th edition transition guide tells you guard is now a stat. So if you're familiar with BattleCon at all, there used to be cards that gave you guard. Now it's just a stat that you have. Soak, the word soak now just says armor. Win and wear triggers, so new win and wear, when certain things trigger. New limited modifier for antis, new optional trigger modifier. So there's things that say optional, meaning you don't have to do them, of course. And then life loss becomes chip. So if it says chip 5, that means you just take 5 damage regardless of armor or anything like that. Oh, there's a back. So avoid just replaces attacks do not hit you, so it just shortens up the terminology. Move and move opponent are updated. Move directly is now teleport. The opponent now has a formal definition. Multiplayer modes are now standard. Overload tokens have become tiles, and status effects come with reminder cards. So that's pretty neat. So this is something that is very, very important to keep. And then we have the tokens. So there are now new force and life tokens. So new force and life tokens. Here's the tokens for the characters. Here's the 5 life, and then now they have these power up, these new anti-tiles, which I think are a pretty sexy upgrade. Then we have the map, which I will not be needing because I have player aids, and they are cool. I believe this map actually makes it a little bit longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, they don't. Never mind. But here's a map, and then it's double-sided, so at least it has some color instead of just the brown wasteland that you're fighting in. And then we have, so now they have new active player cards. So depending on, because you can now play with 4 people, which I don't remember if you could in the other ones. You probably could, but now they have, it tells you if you're, the active player, you act first, and then reactive, and then the different cards for the different characters. So these are the reminders of some of their abilities if they go off. So you have those. Of course, you have their special cards. And then now you have all new bases. So every character gets their own base. So that's all that comes in Wanderers. I'm just going to leave these in here until I am ready to start sleeving and crying. But then, after I'm done doing that, I will start organizing. So yeah. Okay, so everything that basically was updated came in the Wanderers box, which is good. I thought it was going to be in here. And then we will go to the Devastations upgrade. So let's see. How do I want to try and open this? Haha! I'm totally meant to bring a knife down here, but didn't because I'm an idiot. So that's pretty neat. And I think this was the only thing that needed like an upgrade kit. I think everything else comes. Hopefully, it comes in that in the box there. Oh, hey, look, 4th edition transition guide. So you have 2 now for both players. The rulebook. So I think it's the same. I think it's the same rulebook. Probably the same rulebook. So you have that. You have a new mode guide. So, oh yeah, okay. So different types of ways you can play. So there's extra modes. So it's also the X and Almighty bases, beta bases, arenas. Boss scenarios. Let's see what else is in here. Some badass art right there, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, a solo and multiplayer mode, so Battle Quest Dungeons. There's the Armory, so things that you can spend coins on. Solo adventure. Then they have another solo adventure. Then a 3-player team adventure, and I think they have a 2-player team adventure, which I actually have done that. It is not horrible. I was very surprised. And another 3-player team adventure, and then a 4-player. So some adventures, some multiplayer adventures. That's pretty cool. More stories. So probably once again, the lore book is going to do this, but yeah, there's part 1, 2, and 3. I'm guessing it's similar to, yeah, to the other ones. So here's from Devastations, there's their world. Here's the start of their story, the story so far with their awesome anime art, which I always liked. I think it's really good. Yeah, Karen Brandford, she's cool. And then, yep, so here you go. There's just more art and more of the characters. So there's all that. And then, like in Wanderers, there are tuck boxes for all of them, for all the characters that are in there. So that's a lot of tuck boxes. Then there are arenas. So yeah, so new arena cards. I don't know if they replace the arena cards in the base game. I will definitely find that out. And then yeah, so there's that. Then all of their cards, all their bases, new active players, or not new active players, but special status cards. Looks like there is, yeah, a token sheet for some of the characters that if the things changed. So yeah. So then we have, yep, basically just new force, new of the priority target tokens, and then here we just have some of the upgraded tokens, and I guess whatever that is, and then this person. So yep, so there's all that. And of course, once I upgrade, or once I organize everything inside the, oh, there we go. There we go. Shove that back in there. Once I organize everything into the boxes, then that'll just look a lot nicer. But yeah, well, so far everything's coming, not all fucked up, which is nice. I fully expected it to just show up and just be, you know, destroyed, because that's just the way things go for me. Alright, now, moment of truth. Okay, there's the fourth edition guide. Let's see. Ha! Dang it, that didn't work. Well, it kind of did. Okay, so this is the second box. Now, if you didn't keep up with their Ultimate Edition, they were just going to do one big box, but ultimately decided to split it into two for whatever reason. But all right, so here's this. There, like I said, there is side art, which is actually pretty nice. I thoroughly enjoy that. Ooh, I've played this guy. He's a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing him quite a bit. So yeah, so then we have this, and then on the back, it's actually the world. So at least their boxes is designed pretty well. Very bright, so you have gold and silver. Oh god. Alright. So this is most likely trash. Yep, so this one's just empty, but this is kind of what the inside of the storage box is going to look like. Just different containers for your, for the tuck boxes. So, there's that. And then last but not least, before I start uploading, or not up, god damn it, before I start organizing, is the big box that actually has weight in it. So there is stuff in it. So let's just rip this open. Come on, there we go. Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? It's all nice and squeaky. Okay, so I think the art on the sides is actually different, which is pretty cool. I like that. So here's the art on the side. So there's that. Then that one. And then that. And then that. And the art on the back is still the world. So don't need to show that again. But what's in here? Here we go. Okay. So Another fourth transition guide, some ads. It tells you, okay, welcome to the wonderful world of Endines and BattleCon Unleashed. Unleashed is the ultimate storage solution for BattleCon, but that's not all. Here's an overview of all the extras we've stuffed into Unleashed for you. So patch cards, with patches for War, Fate, and Trials, as well as Borneo and Judo. 30 tuck boxes, 46 extra base sets, 10 new solo fighters, 17 alternate art fighters, and 1 punch sheet. Hell yeah. Greetings. I'm D. Brad Talton Jr., the creator of BattleCon. I've gotten this far. If you've gotten this far and you're reading the designer paragraph on the introduction sheets for the biggest BattleCon game we've ever made, then I salute you, friend and fellow duelist. It's been a long road, nearly a decade that we've been developing BattleCon, the very first project from Level 99 Games. This game has been a huge part of my life and my career. Since the project has started, I've gotten married, had my first daughter, moved across the country, set up a full-time studio, and produced over a dozen other great titles. Whether you've been with us from that little square box that came out back in the winter of 2011, or whether you're just starting with Unleashed, the launch of BattleCon 4th Edition is both the end of one era and the start of another for Level 99 Games and for this prestigious series. The appeal of the game's values, sportsmanship, inclusiveness, personal expression, and the pursuit of mastery are timeless. Those are truly what draws back to the games that define us. If BattleCon is a great game, it is only because players have used it as a mirror to discover these virtues within themselves. I don't know how many people will actually read all the way to the bottom of this. Personally, I'm the type person who skips the authors forward, and when I read a book, impress me with the book first, then I'll care about what you have to say. Hopefully you've been impressed enough by BattleCon that you're reading this with interest and not just glancing over it idly while you wait at the laundromat because your cell phone battery has died or something funny. If you've gotten this far, you might as well reach out and say hi online, send us a letter or something like that. We've poured endless hours of sweat, blood, and tears into making BattleCon 4th Edition the best it can possibly be, and we hope to hear that you love it. Thanks so much for playing my little game. Well, that's nice. So, and that's MP Real, MP Real spells and Steam. I was right. And then Exceed. Oh, and Pixel Tactics. I forgot they did that. So, yep. There are, of course, the tuck boxes, the character sheet for the alternate art. Who got alternate art? I know Alexian did up there. So we have that. We have the solo fighters, the 10 solo fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep, there's the 10 solo fighters. Of course, the special cards. Then we have their cards. Oh, these are the bases. We have those, and then these just come out. And you just throw them away or do whatever you want with them, eat them. Well, there's a hole for someone who might do something with it. Who's that someone gonna be? I don't know. It's a little too big. But anyway, so here's BattleCon. So now, what I am gonna do is crack open a cold one of some sweet, sweet Diet Sprite. Not a sponsor. Then I'm going to fucking get started with organizing all this. My initial plan was do a fast speed crawl through how long it took me, but I think I can just time that myself. So the next cutaway is going to be straight to everything organized. So enjoy the magic of editing. And I am back. Now, as you can see, I am very much wearing different clothes because it is a brand new day. Organizing all of this, and mind you, I sleeved everything that is in this box. It took me about 10 hours. That sounds about right, because I started around 4 and didn't finish till like 4 a.m. Like I started 4 p.m., didn't finish till 4 a.m., but I took breaks. I took maybe, break to eat dinner, and then, because I was standing, I stood, I organized everything. If you check on my Instagram, boardgames_unlocked, or BG, whatever it is, you can see pictures of the layout of everything that I did. And that took, so I took a break because I stood and just had my neck down the whole time, just sleep. Oh, God. Anyway, so it took about 9 to 10 hours to sleeve everything, which, it's worth it, but Yeah, that was a long time. Anyway, so for this, I'm now going to show you everything of what it looks like organized in Reeboks, and I'm also going to go over what you don't need or what you potentially will not need. And then I also decided that I'm actually going to be doing a separate discussion on the changes that they made for this and kind of the decisions that they did when doing this Ultimate Edition. But one thing I did want to show you is like, if you did get all the sleeves, I had quite a bit left. I believe each pack had about 50, so 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 650 sleeves left. So definite overkill, but I'd rather have, more than, not enough. So now, ignore the glare. Now it's time for the money shot. Alright. Now, as you can see, I used the gold one for most of the, the tokens and things like that. And what's really cool, a smart thing that they did was they gave you an extra, like, I don't know, inch or two, inch and a half to put the tokens on top. And I like that. I like how it's not just, flush with the tuck boxes, because with everything that I'm putting in this, you don't have lid lift. So there's the mode guide, then the new rule book. I just put the new life tokens and the force tokens in their own separate bags. You could use these extra slots for them if you want, but I thought the bags would suffice for the reasonings I'm about to explain. And then the rule books, the 4th edition transition guide, the rule book, the character guides, and then the Devastation of Endine's rule book. So this is what it looks like, what one box looks like. Now, there's a couple things here. So each box, of course, has their own tuck box, or each character has their own tuck box now, except for a few. But if you look inside, these cards are all sleeved, and some of them will have an abundance of tokens, but this is what it will look like with them sleeved. And then if they have a token, or if they have their own, status cards, they go in here. So basically the way I organized it was I just fit it in there, and then the tokens go in front, and then I put the status tokens in the back. And then you can organize it however you want. You can do it alphabetical. Probably what I'm going to do is a little both. I'm going to organize them by their difficulty and alphabetical. So this will probably be the box for like the novice, and then the second box will be for the intermediate and advanced difficulty. But you have the 4 bosses that each come with their own decks. The way I did it was the 3 big bosses that have their own tokens, and then like their own decks, like they have a bunch of tokens. I put them on their own 1 slot, and then the 3 massive tokens standees for those bosses didn't fit in the box, so I just kind of gave them their own slots here. Over here is where I I put in their own bag the active player markers, then the new Annie tokens. Annie, you're okay. And then the new standees. You could use the old standees, or not the standees, the holders for the standees. But there's 4 here. You'll never need more than 4. So I just thought these are a little nicer, so I just kept those and threw away the old ones. Then you have the different, like the super cards. So there's the Super, Ultra, and Revenge, and then the different types of bases you can have. So Wave, Spike, Throw, Parry, Force, all of those that did have the... they were in the previous editions, but you don't need those anymore because they are here. I don't know if all of them are here. I didn't quite do a comparison for that, but they are all, most of them are there, and you won't need the old ones because the old ones don't have guard on them. And then here's some of the unique different types of also bases, for, I think it's just new icons. Yeah, there's Burgundy with his, and then, yeah, just whatever, different type of art you like. So I separated those out because they are different from the other ones. And then I took, let's see. Yeah, I did have some extra Switch and, the regular bases. And then here are the old promos. You might as well throw these away because they don't have the correct cards. Like for their ultimates or their finishers or their reference cards or anything like that. So you can't even upgrade these. They also don't have their own bases. So they did do about, I wouldn't say half, but I think about 4 or maybe 5 promos they did remake. But for example, Natalie, Vincent Gray, Prince Elian, which makes sense. These were, from different games. So I think the ones that were actually from BattleCon, they redid. This one's from Summoner Wars. This one's from whatever the hell that is. Oh, Red Horizons. I think that's Exceed. Also Exceed. And I think the reason why they didn't carry them over here, now that I'm looking at where they came from, because I was wondering, I'm like, why'd they do these and not the other ones? It's because they're also promoting their other game, Exceed, so maybe that's why. But this one's Mage Wars. That game doesn't exist anymore. This one's also Mage Wars. The only one that bums me out a little bit is they didn't carry over old Bruce Lee. Man, he was busted. He was so broken. Man, he was nasty. Because he just number of follow-up attacks. He has some that just goes through soak. He was gross. But yeah, so you can keep these if you want. Oh, also they have blank ones, so I guess you could make your own if you really wanted to. I don't really see a point, but they're the 4 or 5, which I'll show you in the other box. They do have them. So yeah, so then these just go, where did I put these? Oh, I put them up front. So yeah, I mean, that's the way that they are organized. I think he's in the other box, but the character that has the most cards, I believe, is oh man, he's the robot guy. There's so many. There are, for the record, I believe 90 fighters total. 87 to 90 fighters, and that's insane because whenever you look at it, it doesn't look like 90, but I believe the math checks out. So, and then I have you can organize them also by, Divinity, War, Fate, and Wanderers if you want. So, that is that. I'm going to keep some stuff out to show you some of the differences and things that you're going to have to either decide to keep or get rid of. But then here's the second hot oozing money shot, which allows you to put in 2 playmats without actually flattening them. So that's nice. The 2 half mats. So you can either put those in here. But isn't that just sexy? That is just so fucking hot. This is just fantastic. This is great. This Ultimate Edition is not perfect, which is why I'm doing a separate discussion on it. But man, is this just way better than what you previously saw with my Storage Edition, those stupid envelopes that they had. Now, the game did get bigger than probably they anticipated, but man, is this just nice. Where is he? Oh yeah, so here's some of the, Aneth, Eliza, Takeshi, Evil Hikaru, and Lucius. Those 5 were actually promos that they did make boxes for. I think the only new promo might have been Klaus and Vindal, or maybe I just never had them. So, at least they didn't completely undo all the promos that you had to buy, but those are there. And, let's see. This is why alphabetizing. Oh, it's not Cadenza. It is Enderbite. So he is probably the box with the most cards, but I don't think he has the most tokens. I know he doesn't have the most tokens. But this is what it will look like. So, oh, he does have tokens. So he has energy tokens that are there, and then he has all his cards. So this is what they all look like sleeved. So all his cards, and you are able to fit, oh, he also has a status card. So you are able to fit the sleeved cards with the status, with the energy. You might have to do some weird finagling to make it work, but you can get, you might have to store him sideways, but you can fit him pretty comfortably with everything else. Like, you don't have to like smush him or put him in some weird spot. So the tuck boxes are big enough. He is probably the busiest one, granted, because he is also he's also advanced because he's a custom character essentially. But yeah, so this is what it all looks like reboxed, which is fantastic. Now onto the stuff that isn't in here. So let's see. So the thing is that you're gonna have to most likely get rid of is, based on the new rules, you don't need these dials. These dials are essentially replaced with, you just have a stack of 20 life counters. Now, because everyone starts with 20 health instead of the 15, so that is why. But some of these, like, so you could actually probably get rid of, I think, all of these dials here. So this dial only goes up to 15 health. Say this one goes up to 20. That goes up to 20. Let's see, 20, and then 20. So you can still do that. They also have these ones, which have the focus dial on it, that goes up to 20. So, oh, this wasn't even the health counter. I'm an idiot. This was the timer. Yeah, so there's no timer anymore for the game. It's just, I think, a pool of 40 focus counters, and you just collect them, and once those are out, then the match is over. But you can, I mean, I never really liked these because they wobble like that. I think that's kind of just shoddy design. Not all of them do that, but it's up to you. You don't have to get rid of these. It's, the way I view it is, this is kind of cleaner in terms of damage. Hey, you dealt 5 damage, okay. And as your opponent, since this whole game is open source, you can just be like, oh, okay, and grab their dial and see how much health they have, or you can just ask them and they can quickly count their life counters. It's completely up to you. I think in terms of organization, you might not want to keep these around. I mean, they don't even look the best, honestly. Like, they're not like super cool or super nifty, but those are a few things that you might want to consider. I probably won't keep them after thinking on it. Like, when I first played, because a friend of mine, he'll be doing the discussion with me, after talking with him, I was like, man, I'll probably keep the dials. No, I mean, just having the health and focus, these are really all the tokens you need besides your particular character. The main board also is perfectly fine. You don't need to get rid of this. This works just as fine. Granted, I'm not going to keep it because I have the half mats. They're going to do the same thing. And so that's there. You also have, the game came with these new arenas. So came with, I believe, 12 arenas. Where is it? Yeah. So the game came with these 12 arenas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that was almost identical to all of the arenas in the old system. So these are the old ones. There you can tell that they're long ways. Now, what I did was I basically they changed some of the names. So, for example, the new one's called Crystal Spire. The old one is called Agena's Tower. But I basically what I did is I just took the same picture and I'm like, okay, these ones are out, these ones are in. Now I don't know if you can keep all the old arenas or all the old locations and replace them into the base game or into the new Ultimate Edition. But for all 12 cards in the new one, you can find old ones that some of them share the same name, others share the same artwork. So that's kind of what I did, is I just took the... now I hardly ever played with arenas anyway, but you can at least find replacements. So that's there. The old ones will probably just get thrown away because I'll forget about them. Yeah, so then there's also the old style arenas. I kept these. There were no replacements for them. Some of them probably don't even matter like a whole lot. Like the top one just says all styles that provide +0 range instead provide +1 to 2 range. That doesn't change anything. There's no game concept that changes that. And these all have the arena card back, so you can probably look through these and be like, oh, which one doesn't work? Like, if I just pull a random one out, the University Library, if players reveal priorities with a difference of 1, they trigger a clash, and clashes stay the same. This effect only applies to the initial revealed pairs, not to new pairs. So these probably can stick around because they're just minor changes, and if you find one that's broken or doesn't work with the new rule set, just toss it. So that you can keep. They have these new, or not new, the old system, I think came with Fate, had these force cards, like the force gauge reference card. You don't need that anymore. You can just toss those. Let's see. You have, where are they? So you have the old Borneo and Judo cards. You will no longer need these because they actually have their own boxes. They are right here. You will only need their standees. Now, the game, the Ultimate Edition, didn't come with new standees for a lot of people. In fact, I think only Wanderers just came with the 10. The rest you needed the old ones. So you're not going to need these because, as you can tell, they don't have the new guard stats. So all those cards, useless. Throw them away. If it's cold outside right now, so just if you have a fireplace or a fire pit, just use them for kindling. You have these old... I don't know if these would still apply. I don't know if they restructured enough of the characters that they changed. They went from novice to intermediate or intermediate to advanced or anything like that. They had these different flights from, like a, funny enough, now that I think about it, kind of like a flight of beer. They had these, so it for kind of like tutorial where it's like, oh, hey, lesson 1, range, kind of like a tutorial in a video game. But it shows you the top, the top 6, and then you go to beginner, and it shows those guys. I don't see a point in these, really. I never used them whenever I was using the old system. I just kept them. Honestly, I think it's clutter. I think you can just trash them. Let's see. You don't need these anymore. So, well, I guess you could probably keep these, because I think the force rules stay the same. Where if you... like how you use force, like to use your finisher, you just have to have enough force equal to your life. So technically, if you never get hit the entire match and you have 20 force, then you can just use your finisher. Which I like that being, I mean, they changed that before this Ultimate Edition came out with Fate, but yeah, the original rules were just wonky. It was kind of like a last-ditch effort if you were losing to, it was like their catch-up mechanic, but with the finisher not being a guaranteed, it was probably never actually put in. And then so these special actions like Pulse and all that, I just think you can just toss all those. Let's see. So let's go to these cards. So yeah, here are some of the... yeah, so I'm not even going to try and take those out. How do I fit those sleeved into the stupid... So here's some of the old, or not the old. Yeah, here are the old cards for their the replacement to the base set. So throw, roll, tag, bolt. I think these were weapons. They definitely didn't carry weapons over that I saw. Yeah, boomerang, cape sweep, chainsaw, all the grenade. All those can be tossed because there's no guard anymore. So they did not replace these, which I think that's fine. I think you don't need weapons in a fighting game. All characters, if they have a weapon, then it'll be in their cards. So yeah, all of these all this stack here, either it's replaced to be a cleaner, even replacement to the base set, or they just didn't replace them. So yeah, sweep, more special, so like eye lasers. I think they definitely condensed a lot of stuff, and then the grasp and stuff. So yeah, you don't need those anymore. Okay, so other things that you can either keep or just completely get rid of. There were these stupid tokens. These were kind of just a whatever catch-all for whatever story mode that they had, or if you wanted to make a special custom character, I guess, you could use these tokens. I'll keep them, I guess, just in case, but man, they just were so useless. Let's see. You don't need these Andy tokens anymore because they gave you new ones. And then I'm trying to remember what all of these were. I just have like a bunch of these rando tokens just lying in a bag that just did candle, statue, switch, branch. I don't know what those are for. I'll probably keep them, not in the box, but just in case I am playing, I'm like, oh, I need that. Then they have some of these. I can't even. Vanishing, metal, whatever other set of tokens these were. They're probably for some mode that I'll probably you can just hold on to those if you really want to. And then some of these gold cards, tokens, washout, archmages, blue gold, red gold. Once again, all for just modes that I'll just hold on to. You can hold on to those tokens. The way I kind of do things like this, if it's an upgrade, or I hold on to the tokens and extra stuff until I've played the game enough and I'm like, oh, I've never needed these before. So then I end up throwing them away. There's also these 4 just bit standees. These actually you will need, or because for the different mode, like I said, I've played the 2-player cooperative standout thing that's in their new mode book. These came in handy when needing enemies, so these you actually do want to keep. They do come in handy. You have these. I guess the battle quest thing doesn't exist anymore, so you might not even need these coin cards. So that's a thing. All right. So those were all the extra kind of token shit. Now, it's up to you if you want to keep them or not, but they're essentially, I guess they're not totally useless, but it's just going to clog up a lot of things. So, you have your armory, the BattleCon armory. These, I guess you can keep. I never cared for the armory as an expansion. I thought it just made the game way too convoluted and cumbersome to bring into this kind of game. I know they wanted to do kind of an everything. Hey, everything that's in a fighter video game is also in this game. I mean, they don't. I mean, it sounds like they don't break the game. You could easily just look at the new sheet and be like, oh god, this says soak, now it should just be armor. Okay, so like it's gonna work the same way. So like a shuttered lantern, for example, says you're attacking your stun guard, you have -1 power and -2 priority this beat. So these aren't or liquid lightning as an anti, move directly to any space. or Force Pyramid. Opponents cannot move past you this beat. So these actually don't break the game. Well, that's up to you to decide, but they're not obsolete like a lot of those old cards with the no guard or anything. So you can keep the armory around. That's just if you liked it or not. Next was the, what'd they freaking call this? It was, man, I'm totally drawing a blank. It was with the extra people, like, where, and I always hated these anyway, because you can even tell that the cards were misshaped. They were like, where you could tag people in and have them do certain attacks. This I definitely did not like, but these are also kind of obsolete, because as you can tell, if you brought someone in, they had stats. Well, they don't have guard anymore, so they're just kind of there. I hated playing with this. I think for the run-through, we did it, and it was just not fun. So these I'll actually probably just throw away. I don't see a reason to actually keep them at all. Alright. Now, the next two big things that are kind of annoying that you might have to get rid of, or you can just try and wing it and see if it works, are the alternate art, and so that's how many cards, and the light shadow, which, now these are just a combination of the art and the light shadow, and then you do have their the standees for the characters. Now, here was the annoying thing anyway. They never made alternative art for every character. Like, whenever they release a new expansion, they didn't just add the alternative art anyway, mainly because a lot of them are busted and broken. So, like, one character in particular that comes to mind, I believe, was Eustace, and his alternate ability was just way better than his original one. So I think they just kind of restructured those types of characters and just didn't bother. It's completely up to you, of course, if you want to just wing it and see if these work. Like for their, their all, oh, it was Almighty and X. I probably won't keep these because I just want my game to be clean. I want the characters to stand out on their own. I don't want to have to bring out a character and then decide, do I want to use his alternate costume and his, or his X, his dark mode or his light mode. I just don't want to do that. But I can sense that it would be annoying if you had paid for all this and it's already, and now you just have to kind of do nothing with it and throw it away. The weird part is they made alternate art for like 10 characters. So like for example, Eligor, he has an alternate costume. It came with the Ultimate Edition. So like and it has his own standee. So you have, regular Eligor right there, the successor to Saint Kieran, and then you have, the alternate art version, Keeper of the Grand Chronicle. So, do they? Oh, maybe they just do the same thing. Oh, huh. Well, never mind. I thought they changed. Maybe it's just okay. So the alternate art is literally just that, alternate art. Well, that's kind of cool. Well, let me double check that. I just assumed that they were different because, for example, the abilities were different for the other one. So then you have Alexian. Alexian also had one. So you have they're there. So you have Alexian, 37, the 37th. Dynasty King of Jeffries, and then Alexian same, so King Among Giant, or Giant Among Kings. Let's see. Yep, same abilities. So it's just weird how they chose those. Maybe they did alternate art for the original. I think it might have been that. I think they just did whoever were the original characters in BattleCon. I think that's what they did. It's kind of an homage to where it all started, which is fine. I would definitely like to see alternate art for all of them, just so that I can easily do. I can easily choose, oh, which standee do I want to do, but the abilities stay the same. But yeah, as for the dark and light, the almighty and X, those are completely out the window. Those do not exist for this version. So once again, kindling, and that's probably what I'll do, honestly. Or you can just fit them in if you want to clarify. But honestly, to be completely honest, I never really liked the alternate art. I never liked this kind of childish style. Of course, it's art, so that's subjective. But I mean, the only one that I mean, that's kind of cool. The hex sketch, like that's pretty badass. But some of them, it's like, okay, he's a troubadour now. And then this one, you bet you wouldn't even know who that was. I think it's Sharon, or Sherry, whatever her name is. I think that's supposed to be her. I just never liked it. So, those are there. And then, the last one. So, this one kind of bums me out. Because, unless it's on their website, or I'm missing it in my version, which actually, luckily enough, I actually only had, to my knowledge, one error. I only had one card for Magdala or Twilight something. One card just come all cut up and weird, but of course they'll most likely fix that. Everything else, I believe I came with everything. So what's annoying is there are 3 characters that probably don't have upgrades, but they have tuck boxes, which is weird. Because some of the other promos that were still, in there they never had tuck boxes. But that is Jin, Majorum Alexian, and Rarity Sikar. These characters don't have upgraded cards. Now, you could easily replace them with, like, I'm just gonna throw that away. You could easily replace their bases, but the problem is the extra bases, there are only 2 left of each, so one character is not getting upgraded. So you can't play with these anymore because there's no guard. You can't play with their styles anymore because there's no guard. You can't play with their their finisher because there's no guard, and the reference and stuff just doesn't work. Now, once again, I don't know if there was a plan, if I'm missing like 3 character cards, or if they just never planned on updating these. Yeah, because they're essentially useless. You have yeah, this one's she's from Millennium Blade, so if they're following the same idea with the other promos, hey, Mage Wars or Summoner Wars, all those we just didn't redo, then that would make sense. He is from, I don't know what he's from, Turin Odyssey, but at least the Alexian, the daughter, you think she would have came with something because, well, she's not from anything. But, yep, like, all the cards are absolutely useless. So the other promos I kind of get, they never had boxes, but these ones do have tuck boxes, but they're virtually useless. So I still have the boxes to remember their names, to email them about and be like, hey, is there am I missing something? Do you have any plans to update those? I guess we'll see. But that is pretty much it. I mean, as for the rest of it, Strikers, that's what it was called. Yeah, you can just throw that shit away. I didn't like Strikers. You can keep the original rulebook. I don't see a point because the transition guide and then this rulebook is going to do a good enough job at explaining how to play, of course. And it's smaller. It's a lot more condensed than this monstrosity, except there's no art, but that's what the Grand Chronicle is all about. Yeah, because this also has their different modes, so there's a separate book for their modes, so you don't need to keep that anymore. The War of the Indines, you can... I mean, there's no point in keeping that either, because it's all going to be in the main rulebook. Trials, Trials of the Undines. You can keep for their lore. Yeah, like, so kind of like everything that they might have, which I might keep, because Trials didn't have, so the character guide for that, so that's pretty nice. This BattleCon additional rulebook you can get rid of. The Fate of the Undines, so it also explains kind of the different modes. Let's see. Yeah, I guess you could keep this just for their story and maybe their art. War of Undines, that's another fighter mode, so same thing. Because they did in the original, or in the replacement, they did come out with these 3-parters for the Devastation of Undines. Now, I'm hoping the Grand Chronicle, what that does is also have all their lore, because this one, for example, here's Enderbite, gave us some stats, gave us, backstory, gave us the art, and also the complete kit of everything you need. I hope the Grand Chronicle has all of that as well. And then for Fate, you can also just throw that rulebook away. You have the Armory rulebook. You can... Oh, that's right. It was like Beta, Delta. That's where it all came from. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess you could pretty much exclude all this because... You can't. I mean, if the armory is like, hey, if you get an item and it includes these weapons, I guess you can't really use the weapons because there's no guard. Like, that's a huge thing. They reprinted all the cards. That's why it took 9 hours. Is every card for every character was reprinted. So yeah, so the restructure of those was huge by adding guard, because that's a new thing, that's just a stat, that's not something special. So I guess Armory's gone, so just toss that shit. Yeah, and then the Light and Shadow, you won't be needing, so you can just get rid of that. The War of Undines Extended, that was alternate art. Let's see, yeah, Devastation of Undines Extended, guess you won't be needing that anymore. Here is, I guess you can probably, if these all stayed the same, I guess you can keep these just to show, well, okay, 1, 2, and 3. Here's the advanced fighters, and then intermediate and basic, so I'm not going to keep it. Yeah, and then the Battle Quest, the single-player co-op mode, I don't even know if this would work anymore. No, I don't think so. There is modes in here that have, like, so you see the Armory here, that is in the mode. This one specifically did tell you which characters you could use in this, and how the rules change, so not everyone was eligible. The new mode, it doesn't have that. It's just, oh, okay, pick someone and have them go through, so maybe it's more balanced, but I guess you won't be needing that. So pretty much out of all the rule books you can keep, or none, like you don't need any of the rule books, but you can keep the fighter mode and character guides for the 3 expansions just to have them until hopefully the Grand Chronicle includes them all. But other than that, that is everything. That is a complete unboxing and reboxing of the BattleCon Ultimate Edition. So there's that sexy POV shot. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was enlightening for you. If you want to know mine and Devin's thoughts on the new Ultimate Edition and the changes they made and the changes they didn't make, you can definitely click the I to go to that. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.